Today on Fresno State Focus, we'll take a look at a couple of businesses created by students looking to earn extra money during the pandemic.
We will get a look at how our furry friends are bringing comfort to students' mental health during the pandemic.
Plus, the swim and dive team just finished its season. We get a glimpse of how the last competition went. Fresno State Focus starts now.
Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Brooke Chow.
And I'm Robert Ortega Jr.
Students often struggle with cooking and eating right, but one man is on a mission to help them with this. Tasha Turner shows us how he is teaching students to cook.
Cooking and eating are a part of every student's life, but finding easy and healthy recipes can be hard.
I felt so bad for them.
This is Eugene Alvarez, a 57-year-old Fresno State student who started uploading cooking videos on the Fresno State Book, Trade, and Advice Facebook group.
You need that brain food, and that helps for them to be successful. You know, Fresno State says, okay, academics are a success, we're going to do this, we're going to do that so you can succeed. But what else helps them succeed is also eating right.
I just got finished making Alvarez's taco salad, which is not only tasty, but extremely easy to make. But don't just take my word for it. Ashley Glugy is a Fresno State student who has also made Alvarez's taco salad.
So with the taco salad, I actually had a lot of fun with it, and I definitely am putting that on my meal planning list, and I'm going to do it again.
So the next time you're looking for a quick and healthy meal to cook, take a look on Facebook to see some of Eugene Alvarez's cooking videos. In Clovis, Tasha Turner with Fresno State Focus.
Alvarez, who has health problems of his own, says he wants to help students understand cooking so they are able to avoid future health issues of their own.
And now that dinner is over, it's time to see how one business owner gets creative with making desserts. Destiny Trevino runs a bakery out of her home. She makes cakes and cookies and gets pretty intricate in the way she decorates them. Here you can see she's using a projector to trace designs onto the cookies. She also airbrushes edible images onto them, adding her own special touch.
So we have our edible image printer, and we have this paper. It's like really fancy paper for our cookies, cupcake toppers, anything. We could customize it, put pictures, personal pictures, anything like that.
Trevino turned her passion for baking into a business. You can follow E&D's Bakery on Instagram or Facebook.
Trying to live life through a pandemic is not easy. A Fresno woman found a way to stay positive and make the most of her time at home. During the pandemic, Simone Wood started a natural soap business to help people dealing with problem skin. The first quarantine hit and she found herself stressed, anxious, and tired of doing nothing all day. Woods has had her skin problems her whole life. Buying products at the drugstore never worked for her, so she makes her own natural soap in her kitchen. She wants to share her soaps and recipes with others who can use some help with their acne, hyperpigmentation, or eczema.
I'm just really grateful to have had this, and also, with the circumstances, have something that I can hone my creative energy with and be able to, do something productive that helps other people as well as myself.
This COVID pastime has now grown into her full-time business. Simone's Soaps now ships all over the world.
A family from Madera is building a clothing brand that is more than just cotton. It's about faith. Jasmine Villapando shares their story.
Ali Villegas has always had a passion for drawing. He turned his drawings into a logo for his clothing brand called the Seven Scheme.
7 defines the heavenly number when God rested after creating the heavens and the earth. Scheme is a very strategic plan to obtain an object or place an idea into effect. We're a brand working within God's plan.
Villegas and his 2 older siblings turned their garage into a studio to create their merchandise.
Some of you may be wondering what this machine is. This is a screen printer to create their logos to put on their t-shirts.
Every piece of clothing carries the Bible verse Jeremiah 29:11,
which is, for the Lord declares He has a plan for you, not to hurt you, but to prosper you and give you hope in a future.
Villegas and another local business known as Shoe Plague Abe hosted a pop-up event on Sunday to connect with the community. Enjoying the event isn't the only thing a Madera local enjoys.
I like that everybody's out here. Everybody's so happy. It's so positive. No negativity. Just everybody's just so happy and showing love, spreading love.
Villegas says his goal is to plant a seed on the community through his clothing brand.
If they don't have a lot of gospel in their life, or if they have forgot or they haven't stayed in touch, maybe they might be a little curious and they see the Bible verse and they look it up, and that'll be a little bit connection with the Lord.
Villegas is proud he was able to turn his dream into a business, hoping to inspire others along the way. Fresno State Focus, Jocelyn Villapando.
The Villegas family will continue to sell their merchandise through their online website, the7scheme.com, hoping to expand into their own brick-and-mortar store someday.
Students better their mental health.
And we see how job hunting went for 2020 senior. All that when we come back.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
Success. At Fresno State, it's no secret. It's discovering new ways to change our world. It's creating opportunities as diverse as our community itself. It's in the distinction of our graduates as they lead us into the future. Success is no secret at Fresno State. It's our mission.
We are now a year into this pandemic. It's weighing on many of us. Some say they feel like they're in a rut. Leticia Leal shows us how pets are helping people feel better.
Pets are bringing joy to those who feel lonely during the pandemic.
So the pandemic was super tough on me.
Meet Judy and her puppy Mochi. Judy got her pug during the first lockdown to keep herself busy.
Good job. I was just sleeping all day. So instead of sleeping all day, I diverted all of that time into raising this puppy.
No more lonely days for Judy. Now she spends her free time with Mochi playing inside, going on walks, or having some fun at the dog park.
Mochi, give me a paw. Thank you.
Studies done by the CDC show the relationship between a person and their pet can lower stress and bring about happiness.
The bond between a person and their pet is one of the most special bonds I have ever noticed. They understand you in a way nobody else can. They have provided us with generations of emotional support.
Caring for an animal has given Judy the energy to also care for herself.
He's just become such a huge part of my life with helping me keep my mental emotions stable. I think if I didn't get him, I would probably still be in a huge rut right now.
All types of animals can help with stress, fear, and anxiety. And animal therapy isn't all too bad. Leticia Leal, Fresno State Focus.
If you're interested in finding a companion like Mochi, there are plenty of adoption shelters here in Fresno.
Maybe it's a pet or just a friendly voice in your ear that can help calm the anxiety of this world we're living in. Have you heard of the new Fresno State podcast? It's designed just for you at this very moment in our crazy lives.
To all of our listeners, thank you so much for tuning into the podcast.
For many Fresno State students, the pandemic has brought upon feelings of isolation and loneliness, making it hard to stay motivated. The Student Health Center has a new health and wellness podcast. It's hosted by the peer ambassadors of wellness volunteers who want to provide students with helpful resources and advice during these challenging times. I am here at the Fresno State Student Health Center where limited in-person services are offered due to COVID-19. However, there are several other personal and wellness services through the Health Center that are offered online like podcast to ensure that students can stay in touch with themselves and the campus community during these challenging times. With over 15 episodes already produced, some recent topics include academic stress, nutrition, and sexual health. Fresno State senior Summer Hijazi is one of the hosts. She started in August.
Always focus on student health and topics like food security. I know this semester that we're doing topics that are a little bit different for us too, which is really exciting, but we really focus a lot on mental and physical health.
There are 14 peer ambassadors of this wellness program. They're always looking for more. If you'd like to join the group, look for the application through the Health Center. Weekly podcast episodes can be streamed on Spotify, Apple Music, ListenTunes, Breaker, and Google Podcasts. The Director of Counseling and Psychological Services at the Fresno State Student Health Center, Malia Sherman, shares the virtual counseling services that are offered, as well as the students' response to a new way of counseling.
So we're offering all of the same counseling services that we did before COVID, just all in a virtual format now. So we have our individual and relationship counseling. We have all of our groups and classes. We have crisis intervention services, and we have our case management services as well. So all of those things are being done virtually, and we've actually gotten really good response and feedback from students. Of course, you know, there are some students who wish that they would prefer in-person counseling, but a lot of the students have actually expressed to us that they feel much more comfortable being in their own space while they're doing counseling. They've really enjoyed the convenience of the virtual format. And so we are going to extend the virtual format beyond, you know, even once things go back to normal, beyond the COVID time. We'll probably continue to offer both in-person and virtual services so that we have the best of both worlds and students can choose.
Thank you. We've been speaking with Malia Sherman, the Director of Counseling and Psychological Services at the Fresno State Student Health Center. Thank you, Malia, for your time.
Thank you.
Spring semester can be an exciting and stressful time for seniors, especially during this pandemic. Usual experiences like graduation and applying for jobs are now very different. Ashley Carter shows us what some current seniors and recent graduates are going through. She even has some tips from faculty.
It may not seem like it, but this is the sound of success. Skylar Carley graduated in 2020 with a degree in public relations and was able to find a job during the pandemic.
Waiting and sitting was probably the most stressful part.
The 5 months that it took to find this job were really hard.
The biggest struggle that I had when I was job hunting was the waiting period. Just sitting and waiting to hear back from multiple different jobs was stressful. I didn't know if things were moving along or happening.
But things did happen, and she is now working at a marketing agency. Those getting ready to graduate right now are wondering if they will have to wait like Carly did.
I try to, you know, glass half full. At least I'm gonna try. And everyone else is doing the same thing I'm doing. No one really has the one edge up on me because we're all doing it.
For students that are getting close to graduation and close to that job search, the Career Development Center is definitely something you'll want to check out. They offer a wide range of services like resume reviews, mock interviews, and even a career cafe, which is currently virtual, that helps with specialized counseling.
Don't wait.
Counselors from the Career Center say that planning is key.
We have liaisons for each of the 8 colleges, career counselor liaisons, who can really sit down and talk with you about your career search strategy.
Willis says that seniors should start applying for jobs as soon as possible instead of waiting until the end of the semester. At Fresno State, Ashley Carter, Fresno State Focus.
For more resources and information, students can check out the Career Services page on the Fresno State website. The Career Center also offers a virtual career cafe Monday through Friday from 10 to 2.
It's official. This spring's commencement will be virtual. Interim President Saul Jimenez Sandoval says the ceremony will take place in May and will honor both 2020 and 2021 graduates. A planning committee is working on more details that will get released as we get closer to the graduation date.
It's March, the month of luck, and St. Patrick's Day is a week away. Fresno State's Kremen Alumni Chapter and Friends is working with the Sequoia Brewing Company for a St. Patrick's Day Fest Grab and Go. On March 17th, they'll host a dinner plate drive-thru. The traditional Irish meal will be corned beef, cabbage, potatoes and carrots, with a side salad and a roll for $25. They'll also be selling green beer for an extra $5. All the money raised will go towards student scholarships. The last day to buy tickets is this Friday, March 12th.
Coming up at the end of this month is Fresno State's annual Peach Blossom Festival. Peach Blossom is an event for young kids in elementary to get the chance to read literature in front of a live audience. This event teaches the kids about interpretation, performance, and how to properly listen. This year's event will be virtual. For students in schools wanting to participate, the last day to submit a video will be Friday, March 12th. For more information, visit peachblossomfestival.com.
Downtown Fresno is celebrating small women-owned businesses in honor of International Women's Day. Tanya Guriva takes us to the celebration.
You might wonder what's happening here. Downtown Fresno is known for being a hotspot for taco trucks and street food vendors. Fresno Street Eats is coming together to celebrate small women-owned local businesses on the eve of International Women's Day. Fresno Street Eats is having delicious food trucks and vendors, all of whom are women-owned. For example, Rubia's Churros, Yosemite Lemonades, and Queen's Tacos. You can come and join the festivities from 12 to 8 p.m. on Fulton Street in Inyo. Fresno State Focus, Tonya Guriva.
Coming up on Fresno State Focus, we'll take a look at the Fresno State Swim and Dive Team's final Mountain West competition in Las Vegas.
Plus, we take you behind the scenes and show you how the Fresno State Focus News team is back in action.
And I'll let you know when you can expect to see some warmer weather. We'll be right back with your Focus on Weather.
I got the bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Up in my head to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Hey. Down in my toes to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Deep in my heart. Down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit. All over me. All over me to stay. I got that bulldog spirit.
Deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. I got that bulldog spirit.
Hi, I'm Tasha Turner with your Focus on Weather. And as you can see in this shot taken behind me, we got some hail today, which is really good for the valley, but probably not good if you wanted to walk your dog or do anything outside today. And taking a look at your nationwide satellite, you can see that the majority of the United States is getting a bunch of cloud coverage. Moving on to the western satellite, you can see that California has a lot of activity going on, which is really good, because we are in a drought. And you can see that the mountains are currently getting some snow, which is what the blue color is, and the valley is getting lots and lots of rain. Today's highs were mainly in the 50s, but Shaver Lake did have that very cold 32. And for tonight, you can expect mainly 40s, but if you are in Madera, Oakhurst, or Shaver Lake, you're gonna wanna put on that extra layer of clothing because it is gonna be quite cold. Your air quality was good, which is great. And for your extended outlook, you probably had that umbrella with you today, so you're probably going to want to keep it with you tomorrow because there is that high chance of rain. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there is an increase in the temperature. And don't forget to put your clocks forward this Sunday because it is daylight savings. And next week, the temperatures do begin to increase, so you're going to want to get that umbrella out again. And that has been your Focus on Weather.
With the rain coming and going all day today, our very own Carissa King has been stuck outside in it. She is joining us outside live, our very own Speech Arts building. Carissa, how are you doing out there?
Thank you, Brooke. You can probably see these big puddles behind me from the big downpour of rain we just had. I'm currently standing on a ledge of the Speech Arts building while my crew is filming me from inside so we don't get our equipment wet. But we made it through the worst part. While I was on my run back and forth from my previously planned live, a lot of things were happening in Fresno. Rain started pouring down and some hail came along with it. A severe thunderstorm warning was issued, and Fresno was hit with at least 84 lightning strikes in less than an hour. And my crew and I were running across campus through it all. If I would have known it was going to rain this much, I probably would have traded in my blazer for some rain boots and my cowgirl boots for some rain boots. But that's okay because it's starting to clear up now. But I can see my breath as I'm talking to you. PG&E also said that thousands of customers have lost power. Let's hope that doesn't happen here because we're alive. From the Speech Arts Building, hiding from the rain, I'm Carissa King with Fresno State Focus.
Fresno State swim and dive team just finished their season, and this year has been different to say the least. Tanya Guriva takes us to the final competition in Las Vegas to show us how the team did and what the coaches are looking forward to for next season.
Fresno State's women dive team finished their season with their last meet of the year, the Mountain West Conference Championship. Head coach Jean Fleck believes that the swimmers did their best, but the lack of training because of the pandemic took away some bigger achievements.
I thought we swam really well. We had a lot of best times. The problem was we didn't have enough depth, so we didn't place where we wanted to place.
Athena Clayson is a sophomore Mountain West champion in the 100 and 200 backstroke. She says this year brought a lot of challenges and that affected the performance at the championship.
Conference this year was definitely different, not just for me, but for everyone on the team because of COVID-19. We had a lot of ups and downs throughout the year that contributed to conference.
Coaches were extremely happy about the team atmosphere during the conference, not so much with the 6th place.
Yes, on their attitude and their resilience and all of that. No, on where we ended up. No, I'm not going to be satisfied. I want to be in the top 3. I want to win a conference championships.
With the season over, now it's time to concentrate on the lessons learned this year as the team moves forward.
We learned that we do need to train a little bit more than we did, and we need the weight room more. We need to get stronger and fitter.
Coaches are proud of the team and the way everyone coped with the obstacles brought on by the pandemic. Team stays positive and excited for the upcoming year and new opportunities.
For me, a former swimmer, it's so weird to see Fresno State Aquatic Center being so quiet and empty when usually the music is booming and people are all over the pool deck. The team has 2 weeks of training right now, and in the middle of March, coaches are planning to bring the team slowly back to their practice schedule. Fresno State Focus, Tanya Guriva.
The team has already recruited some top swimmers for next season. Coaches are hopeful that the upcoming season will bring a lot of new wins for the Bulldogs.
The Fresno State's women equestrians team is ranked number 5. The Bulldogs had a roller coaster of a weekend. They took on Texas Christian University and won, and then Saturday they lost to Southern Methodist University. The Bulldogs came back feisty and beat Baylor. Later that day, they lost against Oklahoma State. What a wild weekend. The team is preparing to take on UC Davis twice this week, once in Fresno and once in Davis.
Today's show marks our first time back to anchoring live in the studio since the start of the pandemic in March 2020. Behind the scenes, our Focus team is working hard to keep us safe and in front of the camera. Members of both our crew and production teams have been approved to meet and work back in person. Anchors are reporting from separate desks to maintain distancing. The studio floor is occupied by our masked-up crew team. The control room is limited on its capacity. Workstations have been spaced accordingly. The Fresno State Focus studio is once again bustling with life, and we are looking forward to continue reporting live and in person. Bringing the newscast live takes more than myself or my fellow anchors sitting pretty in front of the camera. Our amazing crew team has taken on our new in-person procedures head-on to make our show happen. I talked with crew member Henry Nguyen to learn a bit about his experiences so far.
After having classes online for 2 semesters, I definitely missed the vibe of the campus, seeing our fellow students and teachers and staff and faculty. So it was great to be on campus again and get some hands-on experience with the learning in the studio, because being in the studio, you definitely have to have hands-on experience, and it's great that we're able to be there in person instead of online.
So what got you interested in working, in the studio and working with crew?
Yeah, so I come from a business marketing background, so being in the studio is a whole new experience for me. But I thought it'd be great because I have an interest in the entertainment and TV industry. So being in crew has allowed me to gain more connections and network with people in the industry and see more opportunities for jobs that I might want to do after I graduate.
And so this is your first time doing crew. So what's it like, being in the studio and kind of working with all this new equipment and things like that?
It's been a great experience. It's very interesting because there's so many different roles that go into a newscast that I didn't know existed. So thankfully we're able to rotate around our jobs. We have different jobs every week for every show. And we have a great professor and great students that we're all able to learn from each other and gain more experience in the studio.
Definitely. And how easy has it become easy or hard to work with the, precautions of having all the safety precautions, social distancing, whatever it may be, while being in the studio?
Yes, at first it was a little different because we're used to like sitting next to each other in class and stuff, but it was pretty easy transition, making sure that everyone's wearing masks and that we're always 6 feet apart. And then we're always disinfecting our equipment. So that's something that we have to learn to remember to do. But I think it's been a pretty smooth experience, and it's almost like the classes were before. So it's been a fun experience.
So we've been talking with Henry Nguyen. Thank you very much for joining me, Henry.
Thank you.
Time again to meet your Fresno State Focus team. You saw these two last week as your news anchors. Now let's get to know a little bit more about them. Wyatt is a senior who's ready to take on the radio world. Two worlds collided for Wyatt when his love for hockey led him to his passion for broadcast journalism. Wyatt grew up doing the commentary for games that he was watching, but he didn't head down the broadcasting path until later. His adventure started when he joined the Fresno Monsters broadcast team. This led him to work for other hockey teams like the Fresno State club team, and also to find his career choice.
I got an opportunity with the Monsters, and then once I stepped into that role, I was like, okay, done. That's it. That's what I want to do. So yeah, it was kind of like a mixture of two things: my love for hockey, and then this thing I'd always been doing, but I didn't know how to describe it. They came together, and ever since then, man, it's been so fun. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Wyatt also has a podcast with a group of friends called Grab My Banner that he looks forward to building. Wyatt graduates this May and has his sights set on working in radio, whether it be sports or podcasting.
Now it's time to meet Ashley Carter, a senior who knows her way around the newsroom and a dojo. Ashley is a black belt in Taekwondo and works as an instructor at her family's Taekwondo studio. She has traveled around the country for Taekwondo and enjoys the chance to travel doing something else that she loves. Ashley is also a car racing pit reporter for Gunslingers Sprint Cars, an opportunity that helped her realize her love for reporting.
So I just went in and kind of had fun with it for the day, and I went home and kind of decided that was something I really liked and really enjoyed doing. And so that's what kind of caused me to look into, okay, where can this take me and where can I go from here?
Ashley loves spending time with her family and her sidekick Lola. She will graduate in May with the hopes of becoming a news reporter. And you know what? I hope no one ever gets Ashley mad, because I know I don't want to fight her. She's a black belt.
And if you saw last week, she could kick butt in the newsroom too. Next week on Fresno State Focus, we will take a look at campus safety during COVID, plus a look at free COVID testing available for students at the Save Mart Center. Also, midterms are coming up and we have some studying tips.
And in case you forgot, daylight saving is this Sunday. Remember to set your clocks forward. That means 1 less hour of sleep.
But more sunshine. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week.